this first exercise, I'm using a foam roller, as you can see, to help create some adduction. Um, so the goal is to kind of use your side abs and your inner adductor, especially like high up in the groin there, to push into the foam roller and then hinge by sending the hips back. Don't just bend over, but really focus on sending the hips back. And if you lose the adduction of your leg, you'll drop the roller. So that's why the roller is helpful to cue proper hinging. I'm showing this on the right leg, and then I'm going to show you behind by showing you on my left leg. I do this, so my problematic leg is my left leg, so I'll do this like 2 or 3 sets of this on my left, um, and you feel like a good stretch in your glute. That's why I was rubbing my butt in that section there. But I'll do this more on my left than I will on my right. Um, Sometimes I won't even do it on my right hand side, but yeah, I really like this exercise, so this is one that I like to include. Okay, this next exercise I only do on my left side. So I stand on my left leg. I sit back kind of. I want to keep my left hip back and kind of feel my heel into the ground. My right toes are pressing into the wall, and I'm reaching towards the wall with my left hand, feeling some expansion when I breathe. So I'm breathing in as I go down and out as I come up, and I'm feeling a stretch in my left back ribs, and I have my right hand kind of pointing back, sort of. This next exercise, I like to focus on the rib rotation. So I do this on both sides. I'm standing on my left leg. I'm actually up on my toes, which you can't see, and then I have my right toes pressing into the wall, and I'm breathing. I'm twisting over my knee that's elevated, and I'm breathing in as I twist over it, and then out as I go back to neutral. And then yeah, so like I'll do this on both sides. This one really helps to kind of get the ribs going, and feel a good stretch in your rib cage and get some rotation in as well. Okay. And then, yeah, I'll do like maybe 5 or 6 reps on each side. And then the next exercise, I went inside for this one. So this is a foam roller, and I'm sort of just engaging my hamstrings, and I'm doing a light rocking sensation. And I will sometimes just do this on my left as well to get more of that sensation of my left hamstring. Particularly, I want to feel it at the proximal attachment, which is like at the very top of your hamstring, and help pull that pelvis down in the back. And I'll just do this for a couple, 15-20 seconds maybe. And then my last exercise is this wall bridge, like a 90-90. And I'll put my right leg up. And again, I'm feeling my heel into the wall. And I'm thinking of pulling down with my heel. And I'm reaching with my left arm, and my right arm is actually like laying on the ground overhead. It's just resting there. So I'm feeling a bit of a stretch on the right rib cage, and I'm feeling my left hamstring at the proximal attachment again. That's my dog. And you'll see I start shaking a little bit, and sometimes I do get like a neurological shake sometimes when I'm doing these exercises, and that's actually completely normal and a good sign that it's actually working for you. So those are some of my favorite pre-run exercises that I'll do to kind of get myself ready to run. And those are the ones I'm doing right now that I like a lot. But they will change. They change from day to day and what I feel like I might need. But I generally feel like I need some sort of thing to kind of get the sensation of feeling my left hip back. I feel like I need like a left hamstring something. And the one up against the wall where I'm like rotating my torso, like I feel like I need to get the ribs kind of moving while I'm breathing, kind of like stretch that out a little bit. So those are what I'm doing right now. I don't always do all of them before the run, especially if I'm running in the morning before school or something. I sometimes am very limited on time, and I hate waking up early. So I will sometimes just do like 2 of those exercises and run through them like once or twice, which I realize isn't very much, but in the beginning, when I started this whole process, I would do every single exercise like 3 times. It was like doing that was longer than the actual run that I was doing. So now I do those exercises probably a couple times a day. I definitely try to at least get something before the run because it just makes me feel a little bit better. realistically, after the run, I'm usually rushing to get ready to go to school. If I'm doing it before then, I usually run in the morning, so that's why I'm usually rushing. But when I get home, I'll definitely run through those exercises, or at least some similar ones to that, depending on what I'm doing at that point in time. My postural restoration therapist sometimes gives me different exercises when I go see him. I go roughly once a month now. So sometimes like those exercises will look different depending on what he thinks I need at that time. Some of those exercises I showed they're not really like postural restoration. They're just exercises that I feel like help me, and they're kind of like with postural restoration in mind. But anyways, that's what I'm doing before my run right now. Again, I don't usually do all of them. I usually pick like 3 or 4. I think I showed 5. So that is what I do. And then I'll do them again at least 1 or 2 other times throughout the day, like once I'm usually home or something like that. But those help me. And I always wear shoes when I do them. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I always wear shoes, my running shoes, which right now I can show you are... I don't know how well you can see that, but that's the Brooks Adrenaline I'm wearing. So I've been running in those, and I alternate between 2 different pairs of these, and then I also have a pair of, I think they're the Asics 2000. These aren't on the postural restoration shoe list, but they fit all the criteria, and I feel okay in them, and I'm going to take them when I go for my PRI appointment next week, and he'll test me in them to make sure that I'm neutral in them. But yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned this in my first video, but the Postural Restoration Institute has a list of shoes that are approved by their therapist for like rehabilitating, I guess. And I don't think that it's like, you can just Google it and you can find it, but I know the Brooks Adrenaline is like on there with also I think the New Balance 680 or 860, I can't remember. But there's not that many shoes on there, so I feel like you could get away with running in a shoe that isn't on there, but you probably would want to get that checked out if you were interested in doing PRI. But yeah, so I always do the exercises with my shoes on because I feel like I sense the things that I'm supposed to sense better if my shoes are on. So yeah, so that's how I do them. And then, yeah, then I'm usually ready to go. And yeah, hopefully the run will feel a little bit better if I do those. If I don't, I do notice a difference. I feel way more uncoordinated and just like sloppy, I guess. So that's pretty much it. So I hope that helps you guys in determining maybe like your own pre-run routine, maybe some variation of those exercises, or give those a try and see if they help you too. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. And I'll leave you with the girl that interrupted my videos a couple of times and almost knocked my camera over. This is Miss Clover, and she's my little baby. And she's 1.5, and she's so cute. So thanks for watching. Bye.